Can't hear me. I don't know what's going on. I can't hear nothing.
How about now? Can anybody hear me? Can you guys hear me now? We hear you, Venom. Hmm. Well, shit. There he is right there. Hey.
For sure. Okay, there we go. I can hear. I can't hear nothing.
Oh,
What's
okay. Can
going on?
you guys hear us? Can you guys hear me? Because they was hearing. Okay, they said they hear me. All right. Well, I don't know what happened. I didn't do anything. It just you popped out and popped back in, and all of a sudden we could hear everything again.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. So let's give a little breakdown of what we got going on. So first, this is Venom Blacc, and he is the light heavyweight champ in the East Coast. Are you still the champ? You still hold that belt over there?
Yeah. For the most part, ain't nobody
Yeah.
take no belt from me.
Well, I don't know how active you've been. I haven't seen you in the cage in a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. It was just a death in the family, so it kept
Yeah.
me out. I wasn't
Ooh,
tripping.
I
You
feel
know
you.
what I
Sorry to
mean?
hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I'm back
So
now. So
yeah, you are. And you taking on 619 for us in August. We gonna hop into that here in a few. But first, I wanted to touch base with what's been going on. I know you said you had a death in the family. I'm not going to ask you to share anything you don't want to. But what have you been up to in the past few months, few years right now
uh
since we seen you?
yeah, yeah, it was just I decided to take care of responsibility other than fighting right now, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like I see my mother fighting for her life, and I thought that was a more important fight than me just, going into the ring and showing out some aggression. I probably, if I would have went at that time, I probably would have let anger, what I mean, cloud my mind a little bit. But
Hmm.
for the most part, I flew her in from Florida to Virginia, took care of her all the way until she left me, and just spent the last year recovering from that. So
Yeah.
now I'm feeling like, I have a purpose. I'm still here, and I was still thankful that I got a chance to bury my mother instead of her burying me. So, yeah, I'm here and I'm ready to win again, and actually show the world even more that I know I belong in, in the pro ranks somewhere up there. But I kind of like this, the level I'm at right now. I could probably train and beat anybody in the world, to be honest with you. But I don't think I have the patience to climb the ranks and play the little political games that they play. You know what I'm saying? So,
I know exactly what you're saying. Once you leave the yard and you get on the amateur circuit and the pro circuit, it's all political.
yep,
It's all the skill gap is huge, and I believe you. I think you can hang with anybody out there.
yeah,
But that's it's you have to focus every day, all day on just training,
yeah,
training, training.
true,
That's a big
true.
commitment. Yeah. And you have kids, right? How many kids you got?
Yeah, yeah, I got two.
Two kids. Yeah. How old are they? Boys, girls?
Yeah, yeah, I got one boy, one girl. One's 15, the other one's 11.
15, 11. Those are fun ages. I got 11-year-old too. You bringing them out to the anniversary event?
I'm not sure yet. I haven't really
Yeah.
made up my mind. I'm not really fond of like flying my children that far away into an area like that. Vegas is kind of set for grown people.
Yeah.
So I'm probably most likely not, just to keep them out of any
Okay.
harm's way or danger. So
Understandable. Vegas is definitely for grown people, and we're gonna do some
yeah,
grown people shit the night after the fights too. So we
yeah,
all
yeah,
gonna get
no,
down to business.
yeah.
Yeah.
You already know.
You
I
know?
don't really drink or smoke or anything, but
No.
I'll definitely probably shoot some dice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, we'll all be out there. We'll have a little after party. So yeah, let's get into your street beats career. Like just to start out with, like I said, you the champ. You went, what did you, 15, 16 and 0, something like that?
Nah, no, no, not that. I just 12 and 0.
No, not that. 12 and just 12 and 0. Yeah, 12 and 0, and you're still undefeated at this point right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
there's nobody in any branch that I believe that can beat me. I don't care what level that they are. I
Yeah,
don't feel like I can. I don't have that type of confidence hit. You know what I'm saying? Like going in, all I expect is the I'm ready to die any time of day. Whether it's in the ring or not. So um, that mentality is kept me alive this long. You know what I mean? I'm not scared of death. I literally look it in the face because I'm gonna die one day anyway. So
yeah, yeah.
so
I'm not ready to die. I do not look at it like that. I got too much shit to do. I'm not ready. I feel you though. I
yeah,
feel the sentiment, but
yeah.
I just I'll get in there and have a good little fight, but I ain't gonna die for 17 views.
You don't know what punch. You don't know what
Yeah,
punch to do it.
true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So let's talk about, because the big thing is your rematch with 619. Let's talk about that first fight. And I know leading up to the fight, there was quite a bit of animosity. I remember 619. I can't remember who he beat, but he turns around to the camera and he says, "Venom Blacc, you're trash." And
Yeah,
that's pretty much where it started.
yeah.
How walk me through that portion and what happened? How'd you find out? How'd you hear about that? And what did it like? Did it set you on fire?
Um, Actually, I think Face may have told me that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
To be honest with you, he was like, "Hey, did you hear what that guy said about you?" And I was like, "Nah." He was like, "You might want to watch that fight and see." And I watched it, and I was like, "Oh man." I'm like, I know goddamn well this guy that just called me trash, and I looked at his track record, and I was like, "Come on, man." You know what I'm saying? Like just in my head, and I was like, I wasn't gonna worry about it. And then other people started hitting me up about it, and they laughed. And then I went to the YouTube, and they was like, a few comments. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. I got to address this shit just a little bit. So
Right.
I kind of reached out and the animosity, it started off as a little bit of animosity, but it all turned out in, respect and competitiveness. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
let it be that. This is a guns down, gloves up. And I felt like we would settle that in the ring and which I did. I pretty beat on him pretty bad. And I don't see nothing happening different. If anything, he better be really really worried because I'm gonna be really really sharp.
Yeah. We'll get into that in a few, but so leading up to this, that comment that he made set off, and if anybody doesn't know, a full invasion of West Coast fighters
Yeah,
going to the East Coast.
yeah,
There was about 20 of us out there. We had a super dope event. It was
yeah,
huge.
yeah,
East Coast versus West Coast. I think at the end of the day, we went like 11 and 11 or something like that, or 10
yeah,
and 10 or something like
yeah.
that. It ended up
Really
tying
good.
up. But 619 fought Venom Blacc. He lost. We'll show a couple clips of that here in a few. And then
Yeah,
I fought Bad News and I lost.
yeah,
And there's, I think guys like Free Smoke, he took a big win.
yeah.
Coyote took a big win. So we all
Yeah, that
had
was a
our
big win by
moments.
Coyote. Shout out to Coyote
Oh
too, though.
yeah, no, for real though. Like he had the world, he had the whole West Coast on his back, and he took care of business, and it was
Yeah,
beautiful. You know, because Wolverine ain't no slouch. He's pretty
yeah,
crisp.
yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah.
Shout out to Wolverine too. That's my guy, Corey.
Yeah. And so yeah, we get there and I remember walking up and there was a lot of animosity. How did you guys not animosity? Let me rephrase that. A lot of tension. There was a lot of
Yeah,
tension there when we first rolled up. So
yeah.
how do you remember us walking up? How did you feel about that? What happened?
Yeah, I do remember you walking up, but I think all the tension came. It's more so like pressure than it was
Hmm.
tension. You
Hmm.
flew all the way out and to the East Coast, and um, a little bit of mind games is out there a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, speak
Uh,
on that because you had the best mind games there, bro.
Yeah, I was
Speak
the
on
main event.
that.
The truth be told, it wasn't really intentional, but I knew what it was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like I was like, I'm the main event. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
when it comes to that, I was just like, when I'm ready to fight, I was ready. I was really, soaking in the moment. You know what I'm saying? I was really thankful my children were there, and more so than anything, I was just like, I was feeling the pressure too. You get what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Hmm.
before I got to the ring, I wanted to make sure that there was no pressure. It was all like, hey, look, I'm here. I'm already here. It's too late to turn around. It's too late to go back. He's here. It's too late for him to go back. Not like he do it. Shout out to his girl that he had. I still want to talk to her, but that's another story. But um, for the most part, you know what I'm saying. 619, he know what's up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just more so like the pressure. It was just
Yeah.
like everybody. It was you could feel the tension from the pressure that was building up to the leading all the way up to that very moment that the bell rang. So
Yeah, and you could see it too. You could see the pressure on a
yeah,
lot of us,
yeah,
and
yeah.
if you weren't there, if anybody wasn't there and you're watching, so and I love this. What Venom Black did is they called his name like 9 times, and he
Yeah.
and he was he was off, and like we could see him standing over there, but he just wasn't responding. And every time they called the name, 619 got ready, and he got in the zone, and then he got out of the zone, and he got in the zone, and he got out of the zone, and it was, oh, that was like 619 is very good at that mental warfare, but you got him on that one. Like it worked a little bit. Like you definitely got in his brain a little bit. He told me that after the fight. But so we hop in the ring. I'm going to play a short clip of how round one started. So you guys watch this.
Great. Street Beast round one. Let's work. Yeah, he felt that. Oh my God, he felt that. Oh my God.
All right. So opening up,
Yeah.
how I don't know how well you remember this fight, but we gonna pick your brain. That's why I got the
Yeah.
clips. So opening up, the initial first strikes, what was going through your mind? Like, were you thinking, or were you just all muscle memory?
No, it was to send a message immediately that I
Yeah.
didn't come. I came to fight. You know what I mean? Like I'm already here,
Uh,
and I cleared my mind, and all I went was like, I don't care what you have that you could throw at me. I don't care what it is. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna execute my game plan, and that was the only thing I wanted to send a message is that there's nothing you can do to hurt me at this point. I'm already prepared. You get what I mean? So
yeah.
I never care what my opponent is capable of or what they can do. To be honest with you, I only
Uh,
train to be the best version of me because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters is that you respond when you got to. You can watch a guy tape 100 times and get in that ring and don't do a damn thing that you train for and worry about everything that he's going to do. And that's how you lose a fight. So I went in and I said, well, I'm here now. Welcome. And that's when that overhand right came. I didn't give a shit if I missed or not. It didn't matter. If he blocked it, landed, missed it, flew and did a 360 spin after that. I don't give a shit after that. It was just like I'm here now. So what are you
and
gonna do
that
after that?
and it worked because that overhand right set the tone
Yeah.
for the next few seconds or so. And
Yeah.
then it changed. The tone changed. And this is what it changed to right here.
Stay focused. He already was hurt off the first one. Get off. Get off. Get off. My break.
He's a lover, not a fighter. I like it.
Yeah. And I have that clip. I should have clipped another one, but where it started. So that's on me. But
Yeah.
that's where the shoving got serious. Like you guys started shoving the match. And for anybody, if you haven't seen the fight, watch the fight. It was not you that started the shoving. It was 619. It looked like, yeah. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that change? Like, what did you feel in the time? What do you remember from it?
I felt like he was scared. I felt like he didn't want to he didn't want to be at the end of my punches, and he didn't want to be close to me.
Mhm.
So I was like, you was going to lose anyway. Now at that point,
Yeah.
I already knew the whole factor of this was to not let me start punching. But in my head, my coach would tell me, don't stop punching,
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
if he's grabbing, his hands are tied up. I don't know, I received, a few headbutts from that. I don't think it was
Hmm.
intentional at all. I don't think
Yeah.
he's a dirty fighter or nothing like that. But just the grabbing and the trying to tie me up is causes a clash of heads, and you know, it's boxing. I expect to get elbows sometimes. I expect to get head butted. I expect to get pushed. Only thing I really don't expect to get is bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I might get it hit in the nuts on acts, from time to time. Who
Yeah.
knows? But that's why we wear a
Oh,
cup.
yeah, that's
So
exactly why
yeah,
we wear cups.
yeah. Didn't you get hit in the nuts one time and
Oh,
your ass?
fuck. I've been punching nuts in 5 of my fights, and two of them
Holy
ended with
shit.
nut shots. My second fight was Street Beefs. I didn't have a cup on, and I had a
Yeah,
vasectomy like 3 months before that, and
yeah,
he punched me right in the balls. And
yeah.
I literally messaged Silas the next day. I'm like, if you reverse my vasectomy, I'm hitting you with child support, bro.
Right. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it did. It was fine. It just hurt
yeah,
really bad. And
yeah,
then
yeah.
literally a month later, I got kicked there too, and by then it was just so sore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I learned my lesson. I wear all kinds of guards now.
Yeah.
But here's a couple exchanges I want to play right now. So this is in between a lot of the hanging on each other. You know what I mean? Because it looks like you're right. If you watch the fight, it feels like you're right that he didn't want to get touched. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play this right here. And I'll play this right
Let's go.
Yeah.
here. Okay.
Yeah.
So those are a couple exchanges where you got the better, and then I'm gonna show a couple exchanges where he got the
Away
better.
from that's all he got. There you go.
That one and that one. So I know they're fast. They might be hard to see. Let me play that one. Boom. So talk to me about hitting and being hit by 619.
Um, honestly, I didn't even know I got hit. I know it sounds like a joke. I was just like standing there and I was like, oh, he hit me. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, did he hit me or did I turn on that?
Yeah.
Most of them I was just like, I think maybe one time I was like, oh, he still has some energy left in him.
Yeah.
Like just a little bit pop, and I was just like, but that's not enough, buddy. You know what I mean? Like in my mind, I give more than I get, and I'm always uh the goal is to hit and not be hit. But if they ever tally up the punch stats, I think they'll clearly see the difference in power, striking, accuracy within that, and I couldn't even imagine being hurt by 619. He's a really nice guy. He has really big fluffy gloves. He's a great guy though. Really great.
These are some solid shots you're taking right now. I'm loving it. It's I know you're not taking shots, but you taking
It's the
shots.
truth, dog. I don't
I
know,
know. I
man.
love it. I love it. I ain't mad at it. So there were a couple times in there where you looked like you had him in a situation, in like a
Yeah,
big situation.
yeah.
This is one of them right here.
As you see, he's
Now,
very tactical. I'm not gonna lie. That's a tactic, but I knew from the beginning that was only a tactic to survive the fight, not to win it. And you're never gonna beat me trying to survive. I don't care who you are.
well, my question is let's watch that again. Were you trying to finish? Like, there's a couple points in here. So he slumps over and completely rounded back. He almost looks like he's out. Did you feel like he was out right there?
Um,
At least for a second. You want me to play?
no,
You want me to
I
play
didn't
that
feel
again
like
real
he was
quick?
out. I felt like he was dazed and didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So he went for the tackle. So
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
honestly wasn't prepared for that because that's the first time in that fight he actually went that low. I
Yeah.
was preparing for the high grab the entire
Hmm.
time, and he went to the waist. And that's the
Yeah.
only reason he survived that one. I was like, holy shit, he tried to tackle me. And I had to defend myself from the tackle, unless he would have literally went NFL on me. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I knew he
Yeah.
was at that point. I knew he was defeated. I knew there was no more fight left in him. But then again, like I said, it's boxing. I expect to get grabbed, help. But at that time, it was a very smart move by him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It was. And he had another survival mode right here. I'm going to play right now. Like that almost looks like you're trying to finish him as well. Like, was there any
Absolutely.
point in the fight where you tried to you're like, this is it? You smell blood and you try to finish?
Yeah, yeah, both of those
Yeah.
clips.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. You
Okay.
picked the perfect clips to explain that. Yeah, I went for the finish, but I knew if I pushed too hard that I would probably exert myself of energy. So I had to tie up because it was hot. Man, what? I'm not even gonna lie. It was a little muggy out there, but I I probably would have if I would have been more patient and like you got to realize like that was a different coach as well that I had
Mhm.
for him. That was a more like a brawling like warrior type of coach. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like go for it. You see him hurt, jump on it immediately. The type of coach I have now is more like patience. The knockout will come. So now It's very, very. It's not going to be the same.
And we're about to roll right into that. What is different here? Like what's happening different? Because obviously you won that fight, and you look like you were there was I think 3 to 5 rounds, the third, fourth, and fifth. The
Hmm.
last 20, 30 seconds of each, you started to look tired. The first, the
Yeah.
second, not at all.
It-
Had most of the third, but you started to look tired. What's going to be different here? And what do you think 619 is going to do differently?
I think 619 is probably going to study, study the tape a little bit and believe that there's some gaps in there, in
Mhm.
which those gaps have been pretty much eradicated in that with the new coaching that I have. Excuse me. And but the rapport that I have with my coach now is probably a little bit stronger as far as output and what he wants from me exactly.
Mhm.
And I actually now I've been around some pretty high levels of competition. Dudes that are probably about since that fight, probably about 270. A sparring partner type of thing. So, um, and there's no way that I can see this fight going a distance. I believe he's probably going to end up quitting on the stool.
Okay.
So my patience is the biggest key
Yeah.
now that he wouldn't understand how patient I am, and my setup is way more phenomenal. At that time, you see me swinging. I put the combinations together at times in that fight, but now my controlling of distance is phenomenal. My range is phenomenal. I have way more tactics now to stop from being grabbed.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same. If he studied that tape, he probably go to sleep in the first round if he studies that tape again.
Yeah, and for anybody who doesn't know, that fight was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So not only are we going to see a different Venom Black, we will see a different 619 as well. I feel. I think he is training. I think he plans on sitting on some of those punches because I mean, like you said, you didn't even feel them for the most part.
No.
So um, I think a couple of your keys to success in the beginning, body shots, changing levels, body shots when he was clenching, just digging in.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming you're staying with some of that. But what do you think he's going to do differently? What do you honestly think he's going to do differently?
To be honest with you, I don't know. And all I can do is, like I said, in the beginning, just prepare to be the best version of myself.
Yeah.
And I don't think that he's big enough, he's strong enough, he's fast enough. I think my fight IQ is at a higher level.
Hmm.
And I think that he's outmatched. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't. I have no clue what he's gonna do better or worse. But I just know that when he meets me, he's probably gonna meet the best version that he's ever saw. So he needs to be wary of that. Period.
That's that's what I started to say something, but I fumbled those words. But when you, God damn, I can't even think right now. I literally just blanked my entire train of thought. And I don't even do I don't even do drugs anymore or
Yeah.
drink.
Oh no,
So
it'll catch up with you later though.
yeah, it does, man. Whew. So yeah, the let's see. Do you still have the same prediction, long fight or a short fight? Now, word on the street is 619's asking for more than just 5 rounds.
I asked for that.
Oh, you did. Okay. I thought
Yeah,
619 did. Yeah.
I
Okay.
said 8, 10, or 12.
Okay. And we'll have to get with him to see. Do you know if he's agreed to that or not?
I mean, we're gonna come to a mutual agreement because at the end of the
Hmm.
day, I'm still, concerned for his health as well as mine, and
Hmm.
I want to make sure that it's gonna be an event that's remembered for all the street beefs, for the rest of their life. But I definitely want to make sure that it doesn't be, you know, the event to remember because somebody's, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we're no fools, and I never want him to think that it's just bigger than his life, because nobody's life is more important than their own. So I definitely, I would say I would like to see 8, and I think that would meet in the middle versus 10 and 12, but a
Yeah.
solid 8 will give him time versus 5. The last one's 5, 3 more rounds. It, but. will it make it to 8? It's not going to make it to 8 anyway. So I just giving him a chance to survive a little longer to say, hey, you didn't knock me out this time either. All right, great. I'm glad you
Yeah,
survived again. That's probably how it would go if he decides to hold and hug and, you know, kiss me on
yeah.
my forehead and shit, that weird shit he does. And um, after that, we'll see though. We'll see though. I'll let the
Okay.
fight come to me, and I'll bring the fight to him, and let the fight come to me.
Okay. So if you dropped him, if you end it, what round? Give me a prediction. What round would that be?
If I end it, it would probably be the third round.
Third round. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say about the third round. The third round, by that time, any skill set that he have, I would have been and figured it out by then.
Gotcha. All right. And then I just remembered what I was going to ask before. Are you going to take any matchups before August? Or are you just going to train and show up August?
Uh, no, but after August, it's open game for whoever. Whether
Okay.
it be Aaron the plumber or whoever the fuck it will be, I don't give a shit.
Okay. Yeah.
At that point, it's gonna be. I want to take my time with this. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm just
I
now
do.
getting back into it. I'm not in a rush to prove anything to anyone other than myself. I don't have nothing to prove to no one at all. So in my mind, I'm at ease with my mother's passing. I'm happy with my progress in my day life. And my boxing life is progressing, and I'm getting back to where I used to be. I'm feeling like really good. I'm feeling healthy. I don't have any broken injury, no bones, or I'm putting the right stuff in my body from the detox. You know what I mean? Just anything that's necessary. I don't want to rush it by any means.
And that's smart. You definitely don't want to rush it. And I mean, like when you take a long time off, for some people, ring rust is a real thing. I don't know if
Yeah,
it is for you. I've never seen you, but we're gonna find out in August.
yeah.
Daniel wants to know: are you worried about heavyweight 619, the champ in the heavyweight division? Because he did just collect the belt, and I would like to show you exactly what happened and how he collected that belt.
Oh, with
Have you
Doughboy?
seen his fight? Yeah, have you seen that?
Yeah. Let's play it. I want to see it. I want to see it
Yeah.
again.
Uh,
Daniel told me I should check that fight out, so I went and I took his advice and checked it out, and then
mhm,
I laughed, and then uh, I reached out. I mean, Doughboy reached out to me. Shout out to Doughboy. No disrespect, but
mhm.
he reached out and was like, "Hey, I hope you whip his ass," and I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna do it for you, Doughboy, if I do."
Yeah,
So
that's dope. Yeah, I forgot to load that one, so I'm loading it right now. So it'll take about 10 seconds.
yeah,
But yeah, so okay, yeah. Are you worried about heavyweight 619 at all? Like, do you think he's gonna hit harder than that? What did he weigh when you guys fought the first time? Because I know you were
I was like
195.
195. I think he was like
Mm-hmm.
215 or 210 or something like that.
Okay, got you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
He's
anything
usually a little bigger.
in the real world, anything above 195 is heavyweight. So,
Yeah. Okay.
almost on all levels. So it doesn't. I will come in probably at about a solid 195 or 200. And if I go to maybe 185 but maybe 190, that's probably going to be even worse for him if he's
You
coming
be
in at,
faster, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be a
Okay.
lot faster
Here-
but just as strong.
yeah. I believe it. I believe it. Here's that clip of Doughboy and 619.
Yeah. Remember body. 5 rounds, Doughboy. 5 rounds, Doughboy. Relax yourself. Look, throw out the right. Woo! Good. You good? Hands are free. Keep working. Hey, hold the fence. Brace the ball. It's gonna work, Doughboy. It's gonna work.
So, do you see anything different there than who you fought in that
Uh,
heavyweight?
yeah. I see somebody that decided that he was gonna take the belt from somebody he knew he could beat. That's not going to be the same 619 that comes to me. He knows that.
Yeah.
Look at Doughboy's fights. Look at my fights. Look at the talent he has fought. And look at the talent I've fought. He's not going to approach me like he approached Doughboy. If he does, you, you want to play that clip again? It's not going to be the same. It's not.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll play. Who's
It was. I mean, he did his
this
thing
one right
to
here?
that opponent.
So this is a good exchange from you guys from the first round.
Hey, where's that? Nice one.
Yeah, like you landed that uppercut, and he responded with a couple shots. But I think it looks like the uppercut landed a little heavier. So yeah, you don't expect anything real different here, huh? You think it's going to go
I,
exactly the same way,
I
but
don't
better.
expect a different outcome.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
expect a different version of him. This time his hair might be purple. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it will be great, you know, to see him change his style, which is probably not going to be as beneficial as he believed it would be.
Okay. So yeah, we're all looking forward to it. We probably gonna touch base with you, maybe do a face off with you in 619 as it gets a little closer.
No worries.
But yeah, one last question. You mentioned Aaron the plumber and whoever wants it gets it next.
Yeah,
If you had to choose any boxer in the world to fight, who would it be? Who you got? Who's your like dream matchup for you?
my dream matchup. That's a good question. Um, I definitely my dream matchup, the person that I would love to fight, but I knew just because of the height I would learn would be Bevo. You know, I would love to fight Dimitri. Um, but I already know I'm outclassed. That's a world class fighter. But I know
Hmm.
for a fact it won't go exactly probably how he would think it would go.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that he's one of the guys that I study, you know, and it would be dangerous. It would be a dangerous fight, but that would be
Hell yeah, BJ. That man is an animal. I mean, you're an animal too, but he's a professional animal. Like
yeah,
people
yeah.
pay
There's
him
a
to be
difference
that
in that.
way. Yeah, it's a
I,
huge difference, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. So King Madness wants to know if you would take a second fight with maybe Takamura.
Hold
Like,
on. I just seen a comment said somebody. Hold on. Let's read that last comment. What does that say?
yeah, the Venom after your fight with 619, would you be interested in sharing the ring with Takamura? I think that'd be fire.
Oh well, it doesn't matter after 619.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Okay.
anybody that y'all believe could beat me is who I would love to fight, and I will fight them consecutively, month after month.
Yeah, that's dope. I love it. I
Yeah,
love the confidence. I can't. I honestly, you back it up, so I can't wait to see you in there
yeah,
again, man.
yeah. It
Um,
doesn't matter. After 619, it's open season. It'll be for whoever, whether it be like I said on any level, anybody, whether it be for cash prize, I mean prize fighting, or for bragging rights. You know what I mean? Like after that, I literally do this. Like my
yeah.
coach calls me a phenom. You know what I mean? He's never seen somebody at this age respond like 10 years younger. Like my body heals very fast.
Mhm.
My speed is still at a level where you still have to watch for every punch that I throw.
That's dope, man. I'm excited. I know we got a couple other guys coming out. King Madness, Hitman Hamilton, a few other cats coming out. Are you guys planning anything? You dropping by the after party, or have you guys talked to Link
Man,
yet?
I do whatever, I'm there with you guys, and I'm street beast, to the core. Shout out to Face. Face to be with me as well.
Oh yeah.
And what I'm gonna do is just show you guys, from the beginning, like it's all love in the end. You know what I mean? We
Oh yeah,
doing
yeah.
this for a reason, and it's always gonna be guns down, gloves up. And I'm gonna always hold that to the standard that if I can, if anybody out there can put the gun down first, do so.
Yeah. Hey, wise words, wise words. Well, you got any shout outs you want to do anything like that before we button it up? Drop your socials, anything like that?
Well, shout out to my, my team, Hit Squad. They've always been there for me. Shout out to my family for supporting me through my toughest times, and my friends. Shout out to Faith for always being there for me, regardless of what it may be. Shout out to you for having me on this show as well. I appreciate it.
Anytime, brother. Anytime.
Thank you for
Yeah,
the
man.
promo.
Yeah.
Shout out to Daniel for making it happen. He's the one of the main reasons why this is able. So big
Yeah.
shout out to him. Hey, look, I also have an album out. If you want to go check that out,
Hell yeah.
yeah, Malcolm versus Martin. Uh, it's a very solid project. It was
Where can we
designed
find it at?
for
Where
yeah,
can we
yeah,
find it
yeah.
at?
It was designed for the ears to listen, and so you can hear some struggles, and just give your own input on it. It's nothing negative meant into it, but it's on
Yeah.
all digital platforms. Malcolm versus
Okay.
Martin.
Okay. Dope. Yeah, we're gonna look it up. Everybody check it out.
Yep.
So all right, my man, I appreciate you being on. You have a great night, brother.
Hey, you too, man. Much love.
Yes, sir. You too. All right, guys, that was Venom Blacc. And you know what it is. Like this fight's gonna pop off. Like this is gonna be a big rematch. This was one of 619's toughest fights he's ever had. And I think we're gonna be looking at that again from the sounds of it. So you guys stay tuned in. I have next week we're looking at Mook. Some of you, Michael Mitchell. Some of you guys know him. Some of you guys don't. But if you don't, definitely tune in. He was a staple of the Street Views community, and he moved on to bigger and better things, which we'll talk about then. So have a good night.